you've probably seen way too many headlines about how to use AI in your business, in your outbound process. What this video is going to be is I'm going to walk through just the top 3 main examples of how we can actually use AI in our business, how we're doing it right now, and how I would recommend you doing so. That would be extremely helpful for growing more sales pipeline through your outbound. If this is your first time here, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Bryden. I run a company called Breakout. We are an outbound agency helping companies grow sales pipeline and connect to the right investors. Over the last 2 years or so, we booked about 2,500 meetings in total, some of them with big companies like Walmart, JP Morgan, Apple, Foxconn, and Goldman Sachs. Worked with about 50 plus clients across many industries, and we are recognized by SmartLead and Clay as partners, which is cool. They're the best. Let's dive into this first example. So one of the best ways that you and your team can start using AI right now is through Claude. So Anthropic's Claude, in my opinion, right now is the best on the market for copywriting. So what we've done and how we're kind of using this right now is we've created a custom project in Claude, and I'm going to show you in just a second. But what we've done is we've taken the best scripts, the best campaigns that we've run as a company for us or for clients, and we've thrown it into a knowledge base, as you can kind of see here, inside of Claude. And so what this basically does is that anytime that we come to it now, and again, I'll show you an example in just a second, but we have this knowledge base that knows how we write copy. It's trained on the best copy that we've written in the past. So when we have an offer that's struggling, we don't exactly know what to write for it. We'll just pop in there and ask it a bunch of questions. So I'm going to go into Claude right now. Here's the prompt I gave it, and let's go over a few of the examples that it spit out at me. So I tell it, hey, I'm leading business development for a company, and I just picked the most obscure industry that I know nothing about, just so it wasn't like something that I have experience with. So I said, we're focusing on aviation engines. I don't know a thing about it, right? We're trying to sell to airplane companies, blah, blah, blah. Come up with 5 to 8 copy variants based on examples that we know have performed. Ask deep questions that would probe thinking and change from these people. And so here are a few of the examples that it gave me. Now, what we normally find in Claude here, you probably can't take these like verbatim, but a lot of the frames, a lot of how it will ask questions is good, and you just kind of have to make a few tweaks to it. But let's go over a few of them here. So we got, John, if you could reduce company names, engine maintenance cost 25% while improving reliability ratings, blah, blah, blah. PS, regional carriers like these guys are already seeing this much saved in annual downtime. Cool. That's a pretty strong angle. John, what if you could extend your fleet's engine by 40% without compromising performance? Would you take 20 minutes to see the data? PS, 3 major airlines. These aren't bad. I like something like this where it's like, hey, John, curious, how is company name currently handling the industry's push toward 15% fuel efficiency by 2030? Our latest engine architecture is already want to see this translate. Like, as you can see, again, this is a random industry. I don't know a thing about this, but the copy that it gives is pretty good, right? Like you could take so many of the sentences, the ideas that it gives you here, and take it into actual bangers if you know something about the industry. And so that's kind of what we use Claude for. It can be a great start in asking the right questions and kind of getting you kickstarted for copy. Next, we're going to move on to GPT for market research. Now, before you think like, oh my gosh, market research, super boring, I don't really care about this, I think you can actually do some really crazy stuff with this in terms of what to come up with your scripts or with who you're getting in touch with. You can actually learn a lot from like some extremely simple prompting. So I'm going to pop into GPT here. Same kind of idea in the prompt. I'm like, hey, we run a company. We sell engine replacements to aviation companies. Give me the deepest research that you can about this industry. What roles are relevant? What are their biggest pain points? What are some dream outcomes? Like, basically give me a full analysis of this industry so that I can, build copy. I can build, offers around it. And so again, like, this is something I know nothing about. This stuff we don't really care about. But we're talking about supply chain stuff. Cool. I didn't know that. We could come up with an angle based on that. You know, we're talking about the different kinds of buyers for something like this. Okay, so we have some senior buyers. Here's what they're responsible for. Here is some challenges in their roles right now. Purchasing directors, boom, same thing for them, right? Here are the main pain points. Supply chain problems, downtimes, and cost problems. Okay, cool. Here's their dream outcomes. Like, just by what it gives you here, and again, this is like a 30-second prompt, you can take so much of this, even taking this and putting it into Claude and getting help that way. I think is so big for market research and just understanding who you're selling to and what's actually going on within that industry. And like, again, I did this in 30 seconds. You could make this so much more detailed and really pull out a lot more info based on that. So I would definitely say GPT. I'm using 4.0. I would assume many of the other models work as well. But a great way to understand your market and who you're selling to and basically everything about them that you wouldn't get if you were doing it manually. The final idea and way that we are using AI right now is just going to be in lookalikes. So I know that there is Panda Match. Those guys are killing it over there. Shout out to them. They're great. You can use GPT-03, which is just a different model in chat there that does a lot more deep research kind of things. Or you can just use Clay. And I'm going to show the version in Clay because I think it's so extremely simple. Like, I'm going to pop inside of Clay right here. I have a find company table. If you scroll down and you come to start from, so what this is going to do, it's going to find companies that are lookalikes to whatever domain I throw in here. So I'm going to put in our own company, right, as an example. So we are a marketing agency, and I would assume I'm going to hit preview companies. If I wanted to find, more companies like ours, that's how you do it. If you have an amazing customer, right? You have, a customer, you're killing it for them. They love working with you. You want to find more of them. Put their domain in here, and you can get 25,000 results of companies that are like them. I kind of know the guys at Spring Drive, so shout out to them. But yeah, right, like, you get a bunch of marketing agencies. They're all focused on growth, B2B growth, B2B sales. Perfect, right? And again, like, this is extremely simple to do. You put in the domain inside of Clay, and it will do this for you. You can do the same thing in Panda Match, but I think this is a great way for companies, because you all have that one customer, you all have that, handful of leads that you're talking to that are a great fit for what you do. Why not find more of them, right? Why are you trying to prospect on new markets and colder traffic when you could find more of what's already working? This is the best way to do so, in my opinion. So that's that third use case of how we're using AI that I think is business and very beneficial as well. The final thing, if you're a founder, if you are a C-suite exec, if you lead outbound for your B2B company, and any of these ideas that I just kind of walked through sound interesting, you can check out what we do at Breakout here. I have the link, and this gamma will be in the description as well, but you can check us out there and see if anything of what we do is interesting and a fit for you guys. And then final thing is, I have this document going over everything that I know about how to build lists for B2B outbound prospecting. I touch on everything I know. I'd highly recommend checking that out. I'll have that included in this doc as well. That is all from me. Thank you for checking out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys are the best. Peace.